Welcome back, everyone, to day 3 of our daily Hindi vocabulary challenge. Today, we're going to keep building up your Hindi foundation step by step, using the most direct, clear method possible. So go ahead and take a deep breath, clear your mind of whatever else is going on right now, and get ready to absorb some really fantastic new language building blocks.
Here's a quick look at our agenda for today. 1. Welcome to day 3. 2. Today's 10 Hindi words. 3. Sentence practice. 4. Repeat after me. And 5. Your translation homework.
All right, let's jump right into today's 10 Hindi words. We're covering verbs, nouns, adjectives, and adverbs.
Okay, so I really want you to think of these 10 words as the absolute raw materials you need to build a house. You can't build the roof before you lay the foundation, right? And in language, you just can't speak fluently before you understand the individual pieces. So we're breaking these down into clear, super manageable categories so your brain can neatly file them away. On the far left, we've got our action words, our verbs, bolna, suna, and seekhna. Next up, our nouns, the things we interact with, pasha, gana, and kitab. Then we have our descriptors, the adjectives, asan, mushkil, and tez. And finally, an extra adverb to modify our actions, dire. This right here is your entire vocabulary universe for the next few minutes.
Our very first word is actually perfectly fitting for a language explainer. The word is bolna, which means to speak. Take a look at the spelling, B-O-L-N-A, bolna. Now, I want you to actively participate here. I'm going to say the word and then I'll leave a little pause. During that silence, I want you to literally say it out loud, wherever you're sitting. Ready? Bolna. Excellent.
Now, obviously, if you're going to speak, you also need to listen. So our second verb is sunna, meaning to listen. Notice that double N sound in the middle. It's not sunna, it's sunna. There's a slight emphasis on that nasal sound. Let's practice that. Remember, use the silence to speak it out loud. Sunna. Great job. And our third and final verb for today is exactly what you are doing right this second. Seekhna, which translates to learn. The really crucial part when pronouncing this word is to emphasize that drawn-out E sound and then catch that soft K right in the middle. See-k-na. Seekhna. Let's lock it in. Repeat after me. Seekhna. Perfect. You've officially got 3 powerful verbs in your toolkit. All right, moving smoothly into our nouns. Because, well, we need objects to interact with our verbs. Our first noun is bhasha, which means language. Notice that bh sound at the beginning. It's an aspirated B, which just means you let a little puff of air out when you say it. Bhasha. Let's practice. Bhasha. Wonderful. You are currently learning the Hindi bhasha.
Up next, our noun is gana, which translates to song. This is a really fun one to say. Remember a minute ago how we learned the verb suna, to listen? Well, learning nouns like gana actually helps anchor the verbs we just learned. You listen to a song. Draw out that first A sound. Gana. Your turn. Beautiful.
The final noun for today is kitab, meaning book. For this one, I want you to clearly visualize a physical book in your hands right now to really build up that mental association. Link the image in your mind with the sound of the word. Kitab. Say it with me now. Kitab. Great. Nouns are officially down. Okay, let's shift gears and look at our adjectives. And I want to set a really reassuring tone right now, because our first adjective is asan, which means easy. And I promise you, with consistent practice using structured methods exactly like this, mastering Hindi truly is asan. Listen to those elongated ah sounds. Asan. Give it a try. Excellent. But we need some balance in our vocabulary, so we've got to learn the opposite. The contrasting word for difficult is mushkil. Notice how it even sounds just a little bit more complex than asan, mushkil. Really feel the difference in your mouth as you say it. Let's practice. Mushkil. Very good. Let's just hope you won't need to use this word too often.
Our third adjective is tez, which translates to fast. Now, even though the word literally means fast, I'm actually going to keep my teaching pace deliberately slow here so you can really focus on repeating the sound correctly. It's a short, sharp word. Tez. Let me hear you say it. Tez. Spot on.
And to wrap up our vocabulary list, we have an extra word, our adverb for today, dire, which means slowly. I love this because it brilliantly illustrates exactly how we want to approach learning a new bhasha. dire, slowly at a nice, steady pace. Pay attention to the aspirated the at the start and those e sounds. Dire. One last practice pause for this section. Dire. You absolutely nailed it. All right, moving right along to sentence practice. This is where we start putting all the pieces together. So, congratulations, you've got your basic building blocks. But let's be real, isolated words aren't communication. Now we're going to use them to construct full, meaningful sentences, combined with the grammar we learned on previous days. Main Hindi bolta hoon. I speak Hindi. Now notice what happens to our verb here. When saying I speak as a male, or just in the general masculine singular sense, the na in bolna drops right off and becomes ta. So bolna becomes bolta. Main Hindi bolta hoon. Say it with a little pride. Outstanding. Let's take a look at how this builds when we put them side by side. This is a beautiful illustration of how simply swapping the verb and the noun completely changes the action, while that underlying foundation stays exactly the same. First up, मैं गाना सुनता हूँ. I listen to a song. Repeat that for me. Good. Now let's switch the elements up. मैं हिंदी सीखता हूँ. I learn Hindi. Notice how सीखना became सीखता? Go ahead and practice that now. Excellent. Now, let's see how those new adjectives just plug beautifully into these simple statements. If we combine kitab and asan, it gives us ye kitab asan hai. This book is easy. Try saying that out loud. Perfect. Next, let's combine basha and mushkil. Ye basha mushkil hai. This language is difficult. Let's hear you say that one. Well done. You are making real, actual statements now. Next up, let's see those adverbs in action. We're describing exactly how the action is happening. First, wo tez bolta hai. He speaks fast. Notice the verb is still bolta. Try it. Great. Now contrast that with मैं धीरे बोलता हूँ. I speak slowly. Let's practice that one real quick. Brilliant. All right, here is our final practice sentence. And honestly, look at this as a bit of a victory lap. मैं नई भाषा सीखता हूँ. I learn a new language. Look at how this combines a pronoun, the adjective for new, which is ney, popping up perfectly here, along with our noun basha and our conjugated verb sikta. It is a complete, incredibly sophisticated thought. I'm going to pause so you can say this entire sentence out loud with total confidence. Incredible work!
Section 4. Repeat after me. Time for some active recall.
So cognitive science tells us over and over that repetition is the absolute key to deep, long-term memory retention. You've learned the words, you've seen the mechanics of play, and now we're going to do a hyper-focused review of the 8 sentences we just built. I'm going to read through these with a nice steady rhythm, treat this as a fluid drill to help the Hindi sentence structure just become second nature to you. Don't overthink it, just repeat after me. मैं हिंदी बोलता हूँ, मैं गाना सुनता हूँ, मैं हिंदी सीखता हूँ, ये किताब आसान है, ये भाषा मुश्किल है, वह तेज बोलता है, मैं धीरे बोलता हूँ, मैं नई भाषा सीखता हूँ. Go ahead and give yourself a round of applause. Seriously, that was fantastic.
And finally, Section 5, your translation homework. Let's test your knowledge. Okay, so you've got all the tools now, you've practiced the pronunciation, and you've seen the sentence structure. Now it is time to transition into the independent building phase. Here are those exact same 8 sentences, but only in English. Your challenge is to pause this explainer right here, right now. Grab a piece of paper, or even just speak them out loud to yourself, and translate these 8 sentences back into Hindi. Dig deep into your memory. Recall bolna, sunna, seekhna, asan, mushkil. You genuinely know these words now. Take the time to do this step. It's literally the essential bridge between temporary memorization and true language acquisition.
So, I'm going to leave you with this one final question. Will you practice these 8 sentences today? Think about it for a second. If you can master these statements in just a few minutes, imagine the kinds of conversations you're going to be having a month from now. Put in the practice today, really solidify these foundations, and I'll see you right back here, ready and eager for day 4.